How demanding this training was, in the sense like the participants wanted this time and again. They said, how maybe we had 32 confirmed seats and we still have 20 more waiting for the second one. So so the second batch is almost ready to go. So that is thank you, ma'am, thank you for your what do you say, the niders you put in there, and we could take it up further, and we started this. So for all of you, Central Health Education Bureau is part of the Directorate General of Health Services, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and MPH कर रहे हो तो board committee पता ही होगा. So we came into being because of the board committee. The board committee was the one who recommended us, and they said a central agency for health education should be there for the country. And so in 1956 it was established, and we are in the same building for last so many years, and we are an old organization. That's why we are called bureau also. I mean, that was the norm to call everything bureau at that point of time. Up the center of excellence हो गया, अब तो national institutes हो गए हैं, but now we are still bureaus. And our mandate is basically health education across the country, capacity building, which one of them is part of this, and research. And our research is totally focused on the behavioral research, and so we'll take it up in next sessions, what are the research we are going up and taking up. But training key professionals on research is part of our mandate. That's how we are part of this important program, and today is the inaugural one, so it really makes me very happy and overwhelmed to be starting this program with all of you and all of you. And so I'm not going to say anything more. So thank you so much. Welcome to each one of you. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, sir. And then we'll just start. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, so now we have Dr. Amod with us. He can join for the lamp lighting.
Good morning.
Relighting now. So can we come up more with the methodology you want these sessions to be taken up as? So skill building, we take it as a core. That's what we are also doing. That's why you are here. So can we move beyond that point? So the rest of the participants can focus on the methodology we need to.
A very good morning to one and all. I am Dr. Vidya. I'm pursuing my MPH from Indian Institute of Public Health, Gandhinagar. And the purpose for enrolling in this workshop is to explore the mixed method research. And I would like it to be more of a hands-on training for data analysis especially. So that will be a great thing for me. Thank you.
Good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Paulmi Mazumdar. I am doing my Masters in Public Health from Indian Institute of Public Health, and currently I am pursuing my dissertation, which includes a mixed method. So I enrolled for this training so that I can learn the skills and apply it there in my dissertation. And I would like the workshop to be both in lecture and hands-on training.
Good morning everyone. My name is Dr. Amarnath. I am at third year junior resident in community medicine in Government Medical College, Ambajogai, Maharashtra. I enrolled this workshop for gaining more knowledge about methods research and share my knowledge to my colleagues also. I want this session to be more like even we can participate, it would be more good. That's what I feel. Thank you.
need for research. करना क्यों पड़ता है ये? If you want to gather or support evidence, I'll give one example of that. Gathering evidence that tobacco causes oral cancer. Supporting it that already people know. So we are finding out that how many tobacco users have ended up with oral cancer. So we are either gathering the evidence or we are supporting it. Contribute to developing knowledge. काफ़ी हमारे equipments होते हैं, newer innovative technologies and other things are there which come up because our research is supporting generation of newer knowledge. That is what our work profile entails. Like I am a scientist. All I need to do the day in day out is deal with research. Okay. कई job profiles ही ऐसे रहते हैं, lab workers रहते हैं. So our job profiles are limited to research work. And then curriculum requirements or annual appraisal job requirements. Faculty positions जो होती हैं medical colleges में, they are required to do researches. Master curriculums होते हैं again in medical dental colleges, I believe for dietitians as well. For other this thing, you are required to conduct a thesis. So that is where the need for the research arises. Now let's look at the mixed method research. Research can be quantitative. For example, let's study the levels of carbon monoxide in air. Air quality होगी. So we are conducting a quantitative research. हम quantity analyze कर रहे हैं यहाँ. Second is qualitative. Public perception of poor quality of air. This is another example for it. What does the general public think? What do they mean by air pollution? उनकी क्या understanding है? उनकी क्या समझ है? Exploratory research. Why do cities tend to be more polluted? More vehicles, more industrial areas. Okay, we are trying to study the reason behind it. Descriptive. What are the times of maximum CO2 emissions? Descriptive mein we are not interfering with anything, we are just simply observing. Observational studies are one kind of it. Okay. Now these are a few kind of researches, type of researches I have described. Let me know what is your understanding of the term mixed method research. Anybody? What do you think implies by mixed method research? Come on, be confident. Someone reply. You are saying cohort study? Cohort study conducted on a larger sample size. Okay. Any other ideas? What is a mixed method research? Alright. One of our participants has responded that it's a cohort study with a large sample size. Moving ahead, I'll try to explain to you what mixed method research are. Mixed method research combines quantitative and qualitative elements to address a research question of a single study. Mixed method research में हम लोग qualitative question, quantitative question को combine करते हैं. That becomes our mixed method study. Okay. Obviously, the sample size here is large, but we'll come to that why it is large. Now, collection and what does it mean when we are saying that we are combining both quantitative and qualitative aspects? It means that we are collecting the data and performing its analysis in both ways, as it is done for quantitative studies and as it is done for qualitative studies. Samjha? This concept is very similar. Mixed method has component of both qualitative as well as quantitative research. So, some descriptions here. मैंने 3 slides में ये information आपसे share करने की कोशिश की है. Pick up what you can from each slide. Okay. So, what is qualitative research? Data is collected through unstructured, open-ended text verbal responses. ठीक है? It is used when the subject matter is, when it is subjective, when it is not well understood or contains level of nuance that would be difficult to codify in pre-selected answer choices. And I try to understand what it is saying. When we are talking about public opinion, experiences, their understanding of things, knowledge, attitude and practices, okay, where you cannot limit the answer to multiple choice question, where you cannot tie it in a close-ended form. जहाँ आप open-ended questions छोड़ देते हैं so that you are able to gain what the public is feeling, what their experiences are. That becomes your qualitative research. Okay. The tools used are one-on-one हम interview conduct करते हैं participants से. My PhD thesis was based on tobacco control. Okay, so there I interviewed the participant, what was the need for them to take the tobacco, उनकी क्या understanding है, so that was one-on-one interviews. Then focus group. एक given topic पे with one intended topic, we all discuss and try to understand what is the general understanding. We draw a consensus. What are the opinions? What are the thinking of a particular group? That is your focus group discussion. Group एक agenda पे focus कर रहा है. Very simple to understand.
Just take an example of wear mask. How many people wear mask and how many people don't wear mask? There is a guideline to wear mask, but so there is, you can have a quantify how many people wear mask. But why don't they wear mask? For that you need a qualitative component, right? It might be because of experience, behavior. There may be certain things which precludes people to wear mask. If you combine both research, this is called as mixed method research. Another example I want to give you, which we all participate. How many of you order food on Zomato and Swiggy? Everyone? Everyone? So after the food is delivered, what they ask? How many stars to give? Ratings, and they also ask for experience. Feedback. So what is this type of research? This is rating is basically a quantitative component and the experience is basically a qualitative. So they are doing a mixed method. So it's implementation research. Right. Both research, quantitative research and qualitative research have strong points and the weak points, advantages and disadvantages. The whole purpose of combining the two is that you try to supplement each other, complement each other, so that first of all you can explain the research, both the quantitative component and the qualitative component from each other's data set, and secondly it becomes more generalizable, you can implement those research, right? So that's how I would start mixed method design. So I think this has all been covered by Dr. Stuti. She has nicely covered it. The type of research where you combine quantitative and the qualitative component. So the purpose is to understand the breadth and the depth of the problem. That is the major problem, major issue. When you stick only to quantitative component, it will answer very certain focus questions. If you stick only to qualitative component, that will answer only certain focus questions. But that will not cover comprehensive the research topic. For that you want to combine these two topics together. That's why you need a mixed method research. So you collect, analyze, integrate, combine, organize. Right? You can collect the information together, you can integrate, you can combine. Now suppose you have two data sets, quantitative data sets and qualitative data sets. How can you combine them? Which one and why to combine them? How can you combine? You can perform qualitative study before quantitative study. You can perform quantitative study along with qualitative study, correct? And you can also perform qualitative study after you have completed quantitative study. So there are basically three core designs, and then you can mix and match with these three core designs. So quantitative data, all the surveys, questionnaires, registration, measurements, in the research, the statistics, these all becomes a quantitative components. These are all quantitative components. You measure blood pressures, you measure patients' mortality, morbidities with a tool. That is all quantitative. All quantitative. Correct. When you start interviewing people about the experiences, about the feedback, that is all becomes a quantitative component. Now you will often find these days a lot of companies are doing it. They're asking for your feedback, correct? So how was the service and how was your experience once you come to our showroom? These are all qualitative. And this is because they want to understand the breadth and the depth of the problem. They want to understand why people are buying things, why people are not buying things, what are their experiences, so that they can modify their product and go forward. That's how
one by one. Stratified random sampling, cluster, purpose U, simple random, quota sampling, snowball sampling, any other nomenclature, systematic random, purpose U again. So more or less On quantitative side, you are aware of systematic, simple, stratified, and on the qualitative side, something purposive, quota, and snowball. So broadly, आपको थोड़ा सा idea है. So it will help me in discussing wherever we are coming. Second, why do you want to do the sampling? क्यों करना है? Collect the data. क्या without sampling data collect नहीं हो सकता? Specific population. हमारा बहुत बड़ा defined और specific होगा, objective specific होंगे. So what is there? Why do you want to do the sampling?
Time or resources.
Time and resources को बचाने के लिए. Okay, one thing. Another?
Whole population को represent करने के लिए.
Whole population हम cover नहीं कर सकते, इसलिए representation of that population we want a sample which can be representative to that population. उससे क्या होगा? Time और resource बचेंगे. Reliable results. Okay. More accurate. Is it so? What we want to achieve by sampling?
We can apply that in the community.
We can apply that result to. That's why we want the representation. एक वर्ड आया था पहले लेक्चर में, जनरलाइजेबिलिटी. क्या कंसेप्ट आता है दिमाग में? जनरलाइजेबिलिटी क्या है? तो जो डेटा हमने सैंपल से लिया वो हम उसको जनरलाइज करना चाहते हैं पॉपुलेशन. क्या ये पॉसिबल है क्वालिटेटिव में भी? क्वांटिटेटिव पार्ट आपने बताया. We have the sampling methods, mathematical formulas, हमने sampling कर लिया. Qualitative के बारे में क्या thinking है? What do you think particularly about the qualitative? Can we generalize the results? No. Why can't? Okay. Again, representativeness is needed in qualitative also, not only quantitative also. तो चूज किया है वो सही किया है नहीं किया है, सैम्पलिंग बहुत जरूरी है. मैंने जिसको की इन्फॉर्मेंट माना, की इन्फॉर्मेंट इंटरव्यू में उससे करवा रहा हूँ, और उसको उसमें की इन्फॉर्मेंट चूज करने में मैं गलत कर गया. He is not presenting the all aspects which I need. Then I may not be having the representativeness. So qualitative में भी हम sampling aspect आता है, we will see which are the aspects. So मोटा मोटा आप सबको sampling पता है, what is sampling, क्यों किया जाता है पता है. Qualitative में कई बार आपने किया होगा sampling, there are different methods किए होंगे. We will see some of the methods in the coming slide. हम जो है ना आपको क्वांटिटेटिव पार्ट के कुछ मेथड्स दिखेंगे, क्वालिटेटिव पार्ट से कुछ मेथड्स दिखेंगे. व्हाट इज दैट? एंड combining in a mixed method approach, how we are going with the combining of this sampling designs in the mixed method research. A brief overview. Now we all know that sampling is just selecting a portion from a population so that it is a representative and we can just generalize the results. Now ये statistical generalization हो सकता है quantitative में, और it can be analytic generalization. जैसे जो concept है, हमारा जो concept है कितना true stand करता है जो हमने sample में study किया, and in the wider aspect वो concept कितना stand करता है qualitative. So mainly to reduce the resources.
Some rule for qualitative research is,
With the
especially
result
when you
known
have
accuracy,
to
we are
submit
doing.
the protocol for your PhD or for your project. Okay, thumb rule is that just imagine that what kind of population will be there. Okay, say for example we look at the age. Okay, you can have maximum 3 groups or 4, gender 2, right, socioeconomic status 3, right. So and maybe some disease if you want to take. Okay, for example we were talking about disabled. Yeah, so probably you are fixing on one only, the variety in disability, or might be 3 or 4, whatever number. Now you multiply all these first with 2, right? So your sample size will not go beyond 30. It will not go beyond 30. Okay? These are the examples from the earlier studies that how they actually started doing it. Okay? So it will not go beyond 30. 1. But then you are thinking, okay, I also need to introduce the key informers, right? Then we need to probably interview all the stakeholders, but they will be single. So there is no question of saturation. You see, no question of saturation. I cannot have Tata Birla's 3-4. It's only one. Right? Ambani is one, Adani is one. Right? So what does it mean? No saturation. Okay? So, but we have the justification. Right? That's why I am again I'm repeating it again and again that you need to think through here that how does it fix? Okay, but you have to fix it. If you will not fix it, it will not be considered a scientific study. क्योंकि आपने अपने मन से किया जो किया, तो वहीं पे आके हम कहते हैं ना, this is the bias वहीं पे आ जाता है. तो saturation is one indicator, but not the absolute indicator. The first is that decide what kind of population characteristics you are going to research in qualitative research, right? And once you are clear with that, you have the categories, then multiply it with 2, because you need minimum 2, right? May need 3 or 4. So you will indicate that when we
and ratio. Interval means what? Ratio means what? Both are the same, but there is one difference. Both are the same. The numbers nearby there. For example, you take height. 12 kg minus 10 kg is equal to 15 kg minus 13 kg. Both are same, but in ratio there is a difference. There 0 means 0. What does that mean? 0 means 0. So can 0 not mean anything else? Anywhere can it mean something else? So temperature of 0 means no temperature? No. So it is an interval variable. And whereas there is another temperature scale, Kelvin or something, where 0 means 0. Weight, when you take weight, 0 means what? 0 is 0. So it's a ratio variable. So just to tell you that continuous variables can be of 2 types. Why is it important? Why are we discussing variables? Why are we discussing variables? Data collection means we should be knowing what information that we are collecting. And anything else, it has more, later when you have your advanced training, you will know how it is important how this classification is important for choosing your statistical tests also. That is for another time, but these are important concepts. Now what are categorical variables? Categorical variables are what types of information which you have to place in categories. Male and female, Indian and non-Indian, rice eater and wheat eater. So there are different categories. Distance. So they are again divided into 2. One is nominal and the other one is ordinal. In nominal, the 2 categories do not have an order. Male, female, is there any order? Male, female? No. Near, far, very far, is there an order? No or yes? Yes. 5, less than 5 kilometers, near. Between 5 and 10, far. More than 10 kilometers, very far. So there is an order. Or you agree with a statement. I do not agree, disagree, neither agree nor disagree, agree, strongly agree. So there is an order. So that is called an ordinal variable.
So research is quite creative to my mind. It's not something like we are just playing with numbers. It is actually deconstructing and reconstructing to make a picture. Is that okay? समझ में आ गया ये? Okay. So analysis actually involves critical thinking, जिसके लिए मैंने आपका पहला आधा घंटा लिया. मैंने आधा घंटा किस लिए लिया? फॉर क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग। सोचना शुरू करो, और सोचना शुरू करो अपने आप से फर्स्ट, ठीक है? व्हाट एम आई, हाउ आई थिंक दैट दिस वर्ल्ड इज, व्हाट काइंड ऑफ वर्ल्ड डू आई वांट, ओके? व्हाई दिस वर्ल्ड इज लाइक द वे इट इज। आई नो आपके माइंडसेट सबके बने हुए हैं, अब सबको पता है, पर कभी उसको देखने की कोशिश नहीं करी बिफोर रिसर्च स्पेशली, राइट? सो अबाउट डाटा कलेक्टिंग यूजिंग क्वाल और क्वान, एक्चुअली जब हम क्वालिटेटिव और क्वांटिटेटिव लिखते हैं उसका ये शॉर्ट फॉर्म है, ठीक है? क्वांट के आगे टी नहीं लगना है, क्वान ही रहना है, और ये इसने कैपिटल में ही आना है, ठीक है? क्वाल और क्वान के ये सिंबल्स हैं, व्हेन वी राइट दैट्स व्हाई आई एम टेलिंग यू, ओके? Designs, tools, techniques or methods of data collection in order to produce useful and or meaningful result, okay? After data collection, only think about data, not the quant or qual. आपने ये नहीं सोचना ये डाटा क्वालिटेटिव है कि क्वांटिटेटिव है, नहीं तो वही प्रॉब्लम आएगी जो सुबह से डिस्कस करते आ रहे हैं आप। आपने देखा ना, है ना, इंटीग्रेट कैसे करना है, ये इश्यूज है हमारे। इश्यूज नहीं होते हैं जब ये हम, है ना, सुबह मुझे इचिंग हो रही थी, मैं बोलूँ, मैं सोचा नहीं मेरा सेशन आएगा फिर बोलूँगा, राइट? समझ गए? तो वो कोई इश्यूज नहीं है अगर हम इस पे क्लियर हैं। इफ वी आर क्लियर कि हमारा डाटा ना क्वांट है ना क्वाल है, बट इट हैज टू मेक सेंस, राइट? तभी आप क्वांट में से जो लेना वो लोगे, जो क्वाल में से लेना है वो लोगे, राइट? और मिक्स मेथड में एक और इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ जो है, जो शायद हम सुबह से मिस करते आ रहे हैं, तो मुझे अभी दिमाग में आया कि जब हम डिज़ाइन यूज़ करते हैं, बड़े सारे पेपर्स आप देखोगे किसी में लिखा होता है हमने क्वांटिटेटिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव यूज्ड क्वांटिटेटिव एंड क्वालिटेटिव मेथड्स, राइट? दे डोंट राइट मिक्स मेथड, ओके? बिकॉज दे डिड नॉट थिंक अबाउट द डिजाइन्स फर्स्ट, okay? They just thought, okay, this is my quantitative objective, let me fill this, now I need qualitative, let me do qualitative, and then they try to put it together, and they very honestly they write it is quantitative, which is, I mean, very well understood, very much accepted, okay? उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, आप करो, but when you are really into mixed